Your pricing strategy as a photographer is so much more than just a number that you put on your invoice. It affects everything from your client relationships to your personal well being. And nailing your pricing as a photographer isn't just about covering costs or earning a profit. It's about valuing what you do as a photographer, your art, your time, and your skill. Here's 4 reasons why nailing your pricing as a photographer is essential. Reason number 1, proper pricing builds and breeds confidence. When your pricing is well thought out, you gain confidence in presenting it. If you've ever felt uneasy about sales or discussing prices with your clients, then this approach will empower you to slide your prices across the table with confidence. Reason number 2, proper pricing ensures profitability. Understanding that there is a connection between your pricing and your profits is pretty important. By defining your costs and applying a consistent markup, you can predict your profitability, leading to smarter business decisions. Reason number 3, proper pricing makes expectations clear. Clear pricing means fewer misunderstandings with clients. And so when you can easily explain your rates, it builds trust and it leads to just smoother communications between you and your clients and ultimately happier clients. And reason number 4, proper pricing avoids burnout. See, when you price yourself properly, you can really ultimately balance that supply and demand in your market. Your pricing is a driver or potentially even a deterrent for business. But also, when you're fairly compensated for the work that you do, you can create a balance in the volume of work that you do and create a sustainable and fulfilling career. Now, let's walk through the actual process of how to calculate your prices as a photographer. There's 2 simple steps. You must calculate your prices, first of all, for every product and service that you offer, from prints and albums to wedding day coverage and portrait sessions. And by the way, what I'm about to walk you through, I've taught for almost 15 years. I've written a book on the topic and I've helped tens of thousands of photographers to do it. It's really, really simple. Here's what you do. For each product and service that you offer, do these 2 steps. Step number 1, sum all of the inputs. And then step number 2, multiply that by a markup. Let's walk through each of those steps for just a moment here. Step 1, sum all of the inputs. Add up anything and everything that goes into a product or a service. And the easiest way to sort of shortcut this is to ask yourself the question, would I be doing this if a client didn't buy this product or service? If the answer is no, then that is an input to that product or service. Now, these inputs include hard costs, like the cost of a print or the cost of an album, but also the cost of your time. So how much time does it take you to prepare for, to pack, to drive, and then to edit a session? To figure out the cost for your time, simply calculate your ideal salary and then divide it by 2,000 to get a rough hourly rate for your time. So for example, if you'd like to make $80,000 in a year, then your hourly rate for calculating your cost is $40 an hour. 80,000 divided by 2,000 is $40 an hour. That's step number 1. Now let's walk through step number 2. You're going to multiply all of those inputs by a markup because you have now the true cost of a product or service, including those hard costs and the cost of your time. So you're going to take that and then multiply that cost by a total markup to build room for things like fixed expenses and ongoing business costs and professional development and profit in your business. My recommendation is a markup of 2.85. This has been what I've recommended for the last 15 years, and it's a solid standard as recommended by the Professional Photographers of America benchmark survey, and they've been recommending that for years. So that's step 1, again, which is to sum all the inputs, and step 2, which is to multiply the markup. Now, one of the things that's really interesting is that you can use Sprout Studio's pricing assistant to actually calculate your prices. So in Sprout, when you're building your print pricing, you can use the pricing assistant to calculate those prices following the principles I just walked you through. So in addition to entering the cost of each print, you can also set up your hourly rate or have Sprout calculate it for you, and a markup, which is set to 2.85 by default. And then you can enter the average time it takes you to retouch a print. From there, Sprout can actually calculate your prices based on a pricing strategy that you select in-app. And that can be calculated, which is to keep all your prices calculated up to 2 decimals. The nearest 5, which is to round your prices to the nearest whole 5. Nearest 10, which is to round all your prices to the nearest whole 10. Nearest 9, which is to round your prices to the nearest 9. Or nearest 9 with the 99-cent strategy, which is to round your prices to the nearest 9 and add 99 cents. Sprout Studio can do all of that for you. Now, once you have calculated the prices for your products and your services, you have everything you need to create your packages. You have your ingredients. Now it's time for you to bake a cake. When a photographer is migrating into Sprout Studio, that's why we always recommend that they build their individual offerings first, their products, their services, their prints, and then use those ingredients to create their packages. So to build a package in your photography business, there's 3 steps. Number 1, you're going to add the products, the services, the prints into a package one at a time. Step number 2, you're going to sum up the total of all of those items in the package. And then number 3, apply a package discount if you want to do that. Now, again, keep in mind, the larger the package, the larger you can apply a discount because the more room you have for flexibility in there. And by the way, that 3-step process is exactly how you build packages in Sprout Studio. You can even tell Sprout to calculate the new package price by applying a % off discount. Now, the last thing we're going to cover here today is when you present your prices and your packages to your clients, there are 3 principles that I recommend that you follow. Principle number 1 is to present options. See, when you give one option to your clients to choose from, it's a yes or a no choice. Whereas when you present more than one option, I recommend 3 or 4, it's a this or a that choice. And keep in mind, there's a reason that pricing psychology and almost every successful business on the planet offers a good, better, and best option. You should consider that as well. Number 2 of principles to follow when presenting your prices and packages to your clients is to curate your offerings. Only show offerings and packages that are relevant to your client. If they're booking an on-location portrait session, don't show them your studio rates. That just doesn't make any sense. Give them options that are relevant and curated for them. And then number 3, in terms of the principles to follow when you are presenting your prices and your packages, is to keep things simple. Don't make your clients burn mental calories to figure out what's in your packages, what they include, what's different about them, what the benefit is of one versus the other. Keep things simple, keep things clear, keep things intuitive. A good rule of thumb that I like to follow is to increase my prices by 50% between packages. So for example, you may have one package that's $2,000, another that's $3,000, another that's $4,500, and another that is maybe $6,800. Those are all an increase of a 50% difference between those package prices. And it builds enough of a gap between them that the jump makes sense, it feels justified, and it feels significant. To curate your offerings and to keep things simple, it'll likely mean that you have to be really critical about what goes into those packages. And in doing that, you might feel like you're leaving things out that your client might want. That's why I recommend that you always offer add-ons to your packages. That way your client can choose a package as a starting point and then add any other items that they want into the package to kind of build their own custom package. These best practices of curating and presenting your offerings and then giving the choice for add-ons is exactly how booking proposals and booking pages in Sprout Studio are built. See, when you are booking a client in Sprout Studio with a booking proposal or with a booking page, you can curate the offerings that are presented to your client. Your clients can clearly see the differences between them. Your clients can see and choose add-ons with an optional package discount. And then your clients can feel really confident in booking you because the process was streamlined and simple and clear in understanding. See, at the end of the day, pricing and packaging doesn't have to be complicated. It can be really simple, straightforward, and easy to do when you understand this process for how to do it. The great thing is that we built Sprout Studio off of this and many other sound business principles in mind. That's why photographers who use Sprout Studio are one step closer to succeeding in business, because Sprout Studio helps you do the business stuff so that you don't have to do the things that you don't love to do, and you can spend your time and your energy doing the things that you do love to do. By the way, if you're interested in trying Sprout Studio and seeing the kind of photographer that you can be and the kind of business that you can grow with Sprout Studio by your side, we do have a 14-day free trial, and we'd love to have you join the family. You can go to getsproutstudio.com to sign up for a free trial. Now, if you want to get more content like this in your inbox every single month, we have Seeds to Success, and we'd love to have you subscribe to that for free at no cost to get more content like this to help you be a better photographer and to help you make a living doing this thing that you love to do. Thank you so much for tuning in, for watching, for listening, and have yourself a great day.